Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to preference what I'm saying with this. I don't believe anybody in America should be homeless. Nobody should be homeless whatsoever. If you're an American citizen, this nation is wealthy enough for you not to be homeless. What this wealthy nation is not wealthy enough to do is to import and allow all these illegals to come in here and then lay on the street and put them on a public dole and put them on a public dime and do whatever they're doing. But if we can spend billions of dollars to defend Ukraine and make war against Russia and then funnel that money through Zelensky's hands and into the coffers and pockets of politicians, if they was halfway decent and they wanted to really be a real criminal, I mean a real criminal, not this, I don't know what the hell they are, they would at least solve problems at home, and then they could steal all the money they want because nobody would be paying attention. But no, they can't just be a good criminal. They even badass criminals. Yeah. U.S. homelessness explodes after hitting record last year as migrants flooded the streets. Now, let's be clear. If you rewind back under the Trump administration, you didn't have migrants flooding the streets. We didn't have the homeless problem we had. We didn't have any of this that we have right now. We didn't. And people sit there and try and justify it and be like, well, we had homeless. Yes, you had it, but you ain't had it at this level. And until people wake up and start to understand that, no, this is a damn problem, we're going to continue to deal with the foolishness. Now, the Supreme Court is supposed to be doing a ruling on homelessness, but truthfully, at the end of the day, the homelessness issue boils down to states' issues. Just like the mental illness issue. Like, I remember when Bobby Jindal became governor of Louisiana, the first damn thing Bobby Jindal, Indian behind, did was Bobby Jindal closed down all the mental health institutes in Louisiana. The first thing he did. And I'm sitting there saying, Bobby, how you going to put all the crazy people out on the street? And guess what? They've been closed ever since. Now, Bobby Jindal was a globalist. You notice Bobby Jindal ran for office and disappeared. Anybody heard a damn thing from Bobby Jindal? That's why you don't have them Indians like Kamala running in for office. They come in, they do their job, and they go. Ain't nobody heard a damn thing about Bobby Jindal. Any of y'all seen Bobby Jindal since, gentlemen? Especially to the ones in New Orleans who like to be like, oh, you this. You seen Bobby Jindal ass lately? What about John Bell Edwards after he screwed up the state of Louisiana? You seen him anywhere? No, they just fade off into oblivion after they destroy you. And this is the crazy thing. They say homeless woman holds her child in Massachusetts. Bro, it's everywhere. I mean, the homeless problem is everywhere. And here's the thing. Liberals, y'all opened the border. And the craziest thing about it all is you opened the border. You brought all these illegals in. The ones who can't get on a public dollar is in the streets, robbing, raping, and pillaging. The ones who do get on the public dollar, they got their little ABT cards and all the rest of that. They get money and they run around sacrificing chicken, dogs, and cats. And then they raising the price of rents and making Americans, people who was born and raised in America, homeless. Because can't nobody afford to pay the rent because they got government subsidized rent. And what I mean by that, somebody say, well, DW, the government not paying their rent. You don't know what you're talking about. No, shut up. You don't know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Watch this. If the government give you $5,000 a month, cash, you saw the receipts, $13,000 in food stamps, $5,000 a month in cash. You can pay rent wherever the hell you want to pay. If the government has a community housing program where you sign up for housing, and the slumlords are going to get paid the equivalent of Section 8 rents for, in fact, I'm going to go find it. Because they got to have it. I know what, if I'm going to go find it and I'm going to prove it to you. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm going to find that and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to find it and I'm going to show it to you to make a decision. But I'm going to find it and I'm going to show it to you because you got to see it. If the government is paying for their housing and then take a neighborhood or an area, let's say the rents was, before the government started subsidizing the housing, let's say the rents was, I don't know, $700 a month. Then the government says, okay, well, if you house, you got a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, and you house a family of 4, we'll pay you $1,000 a month. All them people that was paying $700 getting evicted, so the person get that $1,000. Or let's just say it is not based on the families. Let's just say it's based upon the bedrooms, because that's how Section 8 is. Let's say 2-bedroom house in your neighborhood normally rents for $650, and then this housing program that the state is funding through the federal government says, okay, well, for a 2-bedroom house, we're willing to pay $1,100. They're kicking you out because they're gonna get damn near double the money. You gone. So now you out, and you trying to find housing, but all the houses for rent in the area, unless you're gonna pay that $1,100, which they still won't take your $1,100, because I wouldn't take your $1,100, because one of them is guaranteed by the government. It's gonna be ACH'd into your bank account on the 1st, versus me having to go collect some rent from you, and you may not have your rent. And so what happens is the American citizens are pushed out of areas and pushed out of neighborhoods, and the quote unquote legals are brought in. The quote unquote legals are brought in. It's an attack on rural America more than anything. And when you look at the attack vectors, think about it. In rural America, it's about moving rural America out of rural America and into the cities. Wow. That's some Agenda 2030 foolishness that I did not think about. Remember, everybody was saying it was going to be like Hunger Games, where everybody lived in the city, and if you didn't live in the city, you lived out in the wild. Think about it. If you just flood all the rural areas with third world savages, and quite frankly, I don't care how you feel about me calling them savages, because they're over there sacrificing chickens and dogs and cats. So let's just say you flood the rural areas with third world savages, drive people into the cities, closer to the cities, right? So now you enter the city. You leave out and go in the country, you got to face all this opposition of these crazy son of bitches everywhere. Wow. And that's how you get the Hunger Games. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's insane. I lost my train of thought when I thought of that. That's crazy right there, boy. That's insane. Think about it. Let me give y'all something to listen to.
This one apparently, though, is authored by Justice Gorsuch, which means only people senior to him now could be releasing opinions. It always gets released in reverse seniority. Thank you, Sammy. So we will look to see what we've got here. But the trouble was, a lot of these communities had said, if we cannot police this in some way, if we can't fine or move people along or ticket them, we're going to lose control of the situation. A number of communities out west, in this case is from Oregon, had a real issue with that. So this from the court says, homelessness is complex. Its causes are many. So may be the public policy responses required to address it. The question in this case is whether the 8th Amendment grants federal judges primary responsibility for assessing those causes and devising those responses. They say a handful of federal judges can't begin to match the collective wisdom of the American people. It looks like they're sending this back down to the lower court to reassess that. It's Justice Gorsuch, Roberts, Thomas, Alito, Kavanaugh, and Barrett together. Justice Sotomayor filing the dissenting opinion with Justices Kagan and Jackson. So we'll dig into this, see what it means on the merits, but it is by far the last opinion of the day. We've got 2 boxes, which means there are several more to come, guys.
Well, you need to be able to straight up deport these people. I mean, there's no way you should have move them around, ticketing them. What ticket them going to do? What writing them a ticket going to do? What the hell is going to do? They need to be deported. Point blank, period. You need to round them up, deport their behind. That's it. That's the only thing you can do with these people. If you're not from here and you living on my streets, you going back to live on the streets where you came from, baby. I even give you some bread for you to, so you have something to eat while I mean, literally bread. I mean, I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about literally, I'll give you a loaf of bread to go home so you can eat some bread on your way on a plane. I'll do them better than that. You know what? I would put them on a plane, and I treat everybody like they're in first class. They'll have something to eat. They have 1 Coca-Cola. They'll have a ham and cheese sandwich and a bag of potato chips. But you getting your ass about my country. That's all it is to it. You getting up out my country. That's all.